just wanted to talk a little bit about the world of Final Fantasy, a release for the PS4 and other systems as well, but gotta love the PS4. So I just wanted to discuss the game a little bit. As a Final Fantasy fan, this was kind of an interesting release. It kind of set out to showcase a lot of the favorite characters and scenes and concepts behind the Final Fantasy series, but wasn't given its own number, and it's kind of an offshoot. So, of course, it's a little bit more on the cartoony side, a little bit removed from the more serious and realistic fantasy games, if you will, that they've created in the series recently. I think the Square actually marketed it to a degree as something that you could play with your kids or with the whole family, easily approachable. The objectives of the game were, not too difficult to attain in a lot of cases. And so it's not a tough game to get into. Some of the Final Fantasies require a lot more time and kind of intellectual engagement. So as far as the game goes, gameplay, it's great. It utilizes a lot of the things of past Final Fantasy games, that were favorites to the fans. Like the battle system allows you to choose between turn-based and active, or you can even do like kind of an in-between. So it's kind of nice that you can customize your gameplay a little bit if you're a fan that likes to go slow and do just the turn style kind of classic battle gameplay. You can do the wait mode. You can go to semi-active if you want to feel a little bit more like you don't have the breaks in between, or you can go to active if you want everything to be live and no breaks in between turns for you to take your time and strategize. So it allows for a little bit of a dynamic battle system, which is really nice. And the visuals are incredible. It's just a really beautiful game. They do utilize some really cool CGI where they jump into some anime style types of videos, which is really cool. I think the anime fans that love the series really appreciate that. The towns are really cool. I really like that they utilize a lot of really great iconic towns, like from Final Fantasy VII's Nibelheim to Port Besaid, Final Fantasy X, and so the story itself is pretty engaging, I'll say. It is for a broader audience, I'd say. It's not super edgy. It might feel a little bit nerfed to some of the Final Fantasy fans who've been getting into the stories in the more recent series. But all in all, the story plays out very well. You're Lon and Rain and your twins, going about saving the world in usual Final Fantasy style. And Lon and Rain are relatable characters. Lon is seems kind of like the girl next door that plays Final Fantasy, and I should say that's Rain. Lon is the boy, and he's kind of the same for the boys. A little bit of counterculture kind of lingo with the dude and whatnot, and he's just kind of a cool, funny character, not too deep and heavy. Not quite your Cloud, even though he does kind of look like him. Cloud being from Final Fantasy VII, that is. So, just a few thoughts about the game. I would absolutely recommend giving it a play if you're a Final Fantasy fan, or if not. I'd be really interested to hear if you were not like a longtime Final Fantasy fan. What did you think? Did it make you want to play other Final Fantasy games? If there are certain aspects of world of Final Fantasy that you liked, let me know. Maybe I could recommend other Final Fantasies you might enjoy. So anyway, thanks so much for listening. This is Rain, and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.